Some political news coming in from the state of Wisconsin. The former lieutenant governor, Mandela Barnes, is leaving the race for governor there. So that clears the way in Wisconsin for a Democratic Socialist, Francesca Hong, to be perhaps the party's nominee. Listen.
While I may be suspending this campaign, I'll never give up my fight for Wisconsin. And I'm incredibly grateful for all the folks who joined this campaign, for the people who believed in me and this movement, knew that we had a real shot at creating opportunities through bold action to improve quality of life for every single person that calls this place home. Now, we have to do everything we possibly can to defeat Tom Tiffany.
All right, so we're in the News Center for a larger conversation on all of this. NewsNation political contributor Denise Gitsham joins us. So does political journalist Nii-Kordalei Kordey. Welcome to you both. And when I say larger conversation, I'm going to right away combine this news that's coming from Wisconsin with the Michigan Senate race and the new polling. It's right here on the tablet, where you have the more progressive candidate, Abdul El-Sayed, if you look at those numbers from July, now opening up, at least in this Emerson College poll, a 15-point lead in the primary over the more moderate Haley Stevens, the Congresswoman. So, Nii-Kordalei, let me start with you. Time after time we have example, but now they're in states like Wisconsin and Michigan, where the more progressive candidate is doing better in primaries for Democrats. But in these types of states, the question becomes, is that going to be bad news for Democrats in a general? Michigan, for example, Stevens polls much better against Mike Rogers than Abdul El-Sayed. How do you see it?
I mean, I think really what we're seeing is a generational realignment that really is echoing, so many other runs that we've seen across the country. But it's also important to point out that in a separate Michigan education poll, it shows Rogers beating El-Sayed by 10% in the general. And so, what we're seeing is, essentially, a poll that's measuring enthusiasm, but a general election poll that's measuring visibility and viability. And so the two numbers are pointing in the opposite direction. And that is a coalition issue that Democrats really need to figure out. This is not unique to Michigan, but we're seeing this evidence of this across the country.
When you look at it, Denise, from your perspective, having worked in Republican politics over the years, and see Michigan or have this news that we're just digesting from Wisconsin, what's the thought about where it leads in the general this year?
Well, so far, Francesca Hong, who is now like the far and wide leading candidate for the Wisconsin Democratic gubernatorial in the primary, she is trailing the Republicans. So if we're just talking about politics, it'll all play out how it will. A lot of it will depend on how people feel about the president and the economy. But I think the bigger issue that we're speaking about, McConnell, is what's best for our nation, which I think is the metric through which we should all be considering, what kind of candidates we want to support. And what I'm concerned about is that Democrats, and I say this as a Republican who's literally fought against Democrats in my whole career for a different vision of America. But I thought it was one that we shared for a long time, and that's that Democrats don't seem to realize that the socialists are coming for you first. If you're anyone who's not in the socialist camp, Malat Karos, the DSA-backed candidate in Colorado, she said the Democratic Party is facing a reckoning right now, and we're bringing it to you. Anyone who's not in their camp is in their line of fire because they're the only obstacle between controlling the Democratic Party, and that's their ultimate goal, and ultimately controlling America. And so when you saw the Washington Post poll that came out this morning, it said that 75% of Democrats would back a DSA candidate for the White House. That tells you a lot about the direction, either the weakness of the moderate Democratic Party, right, or the that the Democratic Party is going and what they're capitulating towards.
Is Denise right, Nii-Kordalei?
No, absolutely not. Denise is not right. And Denise, the American people aren't buying what this Republican Party is selling. I mean, look, Elon Musk is reviving his super PAC in an attempt to try and flood the zone with mis and disinformation to get voters across the country to either stay home or vote for these Republican candidates that are not acting in their best interest.
But what about the Democrats and whether the move too far left could be long-term a negative?
But you got to look at the issues that are animating voters right now. Voters are not pleased with how ICE is abusing its powers across this country and snatching people off of the street, all in the name of immigration reform and enforcing strong borders. The American people are not buying that no more than they're not buying, the fact that this administration is catering to the elite, catering to the rich at the expense of the poor and the needy. And so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this Republican Party has not done well with their majority in the House, in the Senate, and the White House. And this is a referendum on this president and the Republican Party.
Yeah, I think the question is, I mean, a lot of people probably agree with that last part. I think the question is whether in trying to take advantage of that politically, you go too far and then kind of be careful what you wish for. I think the Republicans have seen that too, Denise, over the years, and it's in some cases.
Absolutely, we have. I mean, we've gone through it. We've experienced it. Look, Trump wasn't my pick for president. I was a Marco Rubio. I was a Tim Scott guy. So that wasn't my perspective. But I think what the Democrats are, the question I have for them now is not whether you think ICE is bad. The question is, do you stand for open borders? Because that's the response that the DSA has. It's exactly what you were saying, Connell. If you look at the DSA socialist platform, if you look at what they stand for, and they have made it very clear, they're for things that are ultimately anti-American. And any finger pointing at Elon Musk, and in fact, there were 83 billionaires that supported Kamala Harris to 54 that supported Trump. Just to be clear, when we're talking about rich people, you can go look it up for yourself. You should realize that this is an issue that is about what do Democrats stand for now.
I think more so than immigration. I get it that that's still a big issue. I think it's more, do you stand for free enterprise?
And that's what America is about. And if you think that
that's more of the question, I think. So I want to hear what Nii-Kordalei has to say about that part of it.
America does not stand for unfettered capitalism. America does not stand for the big and the powerful. The big and the powerful really running roughshod, over everyday people. That's what the folks are responding to.
I think the question is, do you want to reform that system or burn it down?
Exactly.
I don't think anybody's talking about burning down the system. I think everybody understands that this system could work so much better and deliver for everyday people. You don't need to cut Medicaid to the people that need it most in order to cut bigger contracts to your friends and your cronies. We don't have to live in America like that. And I think a lot of American people across the political spectrum that believe that and will show up at the polls in November.
So really, it's an interesting kind of hypothetical discussion for us to have, but it's not hypothetical for people in these states. And it'll be, I think, watching the swing states, watching Michigan, for example, and how much different that is than, where I am in New York or something. That'll be a big question going into the fall. But really appreciate you both. Denise and Nii-Kordalei, thank you very, very much. Yum Brands, speaking of private companies, it's the